Want to get rid of illegal immigrants? Quit eating. And that's for everybody. That's, nationwide. If you want to get rid of them, quit eating. That'll solve the problem.
But when only 5 pickers showed up this morning to harvest his sweet potatoes, farmer Keith Smith saw possible ruin, the loss of his $500,000 crop.
They're running scared because of this new law.
And you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, bad trouble.
Smith's 200 acres need 20 pickers, mostly Mexican nationals.
There is not enough documented people here to supply that workforce.
Most of your workers are here illegally.
But sure, if they got documentation, they got a better job working for me.
Fernando Aldeman, a Mexican national, has worked Smith's farm since 1992.
Everybody's just scared.
Yeah.
Now, are you here legally? No.
No.
So, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared,
Smith's pickers make about $100 a day. He supports immigration laws, just not this one that threatens his third-generation family.
So I go to the grocery store today to get some groceries, and I got some grapes because obviously 3 kids love grapes. $15.07. $15.07. Ridiculous. So then I go over to red grapes. Maybe that'll be better. Nope, $11.
Frustration is rising across Kansas as many Trump voters say the cost of living is becoming an overwhelming burden. From soaring grocery and gas prices to housing and everyday expenses, families are feeling the pressure. Watch until the end and hear these powerful personal stories from Kansans speaking out about the growing financial challenges shaping their lives.
Top city! Top city! The only city in America where they'll pay you $15,000 to move there. The top paying city for relocation. Heck, I'm broke. I'm about to move here right now. It's expensive in Seattle. I could use that $15K. It's not worth it? All right. Never mind, I'll stay in Seattle. Thank you for the pro tip.
1 gallon of gas in Kansas is over half of minimum wage. So in Kansas, gas just hit $4.29. The minimum wage in Kansas is $7.50. So to put this in perspective, if you have like a Toyota Camry or a Nissan Altima or, a car, nothing fancy, your gas tank holds about 15 to 16 gallons, okay? That means that if you work at minimum wage, if you're just starting out, you're a teenager with a part-time job, whatever the reason that you are making minimum wage, it doesn't really matter, it's not the point. You would have to work 8.5 hours just to fill up your gas tank. So you would have to work an entire shift plus some just to fill up your gas tank to get to work, to get to your next shift. Are we winning yet? Is America great again? Oh my God, make it make sense.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We've almost made it through another work week. I have to stop on the way to work and get gas, so I am not looking forward to that because my tank is completely empty. My light is on. So let's see how much that cost this morning. $4.65 a gallon. It has gone down a little bit. It ended up costing me $81.05 to fill up my vehicle, which is absolutely disheartening. I drive a GNC Terrain, which it does cost a little bit more, but normally it costs me around $45 a week. So I almost used my 2 weeks worth of gas budget for 1 week. So needless to say, we won't be doing much traveling this weekend.
This one is very busy. And local friends, this is at the get-go right by Honda, like Cracker Barrel. $3.88. So it's like the cheapest I've seen in a little while. And I forgot to take a video, but just filled up for $60.98. Which is sad because not that long ago, I filled up for like $40. But it is what it is.
If you live in Kansas or Missouri or you're from Kansas City, then this is going to be a gas review. So I'm going to show y'all how much you about to spend. I'm not going to lie. So to start this off, I try to get 87. You feel me? I can't. They only have 89. Dude, like this is literally just making me want to cry. This is horrible. Like I literally cannot watch. I'm just going to fill it all the way up and I will show you guys how much. I'm about to give y'all a genuine reaction because like I'm walking over to my car right now. You about to see how bad. Alright, bro. Told you I still had about a fourth in there. $57 for 12 gallons, man. So that's what you're gonna spend. If they have an unleaded, it's obviously gonna be cheaper, but they literally did not have unleaded here. So yeah.
This is my 2014 Chevrolet Impala. On average, I spend about $35 to fill up this baby. This is getting out of control. $58 for my Impala. No brainer. Usually it costs me like $35 to fill up my Impala. Now it's this much. We need to figure it out. We need to figure it out quickly. Because I can't keep doing this. Can't keep doing it.
Yo, I just drove by Quick Trip, and that said gas was $4.29. What the hell? Filled up last night for $3.99, but $4.29? What the?
$4.19 per gallon. Remember, Roger Marshall wants you to get over it. Kansans continue to get less and less out of their hard-earned paychecks thanks to people like Roger Marshall.
If you really think about it, like, this generation has gone through so much. We've gone through a recession. We've gone through COVID. We've literally gone through it all. Like, what's next? A tsunami in the Midwest? Like, that's not even possible. But, like, at the same time, I'm not going to hold anything back, you know? I used to be able to fill my car up with literally $20 full. And now it takes 46.
Okay, so I am at GetGo filling up for $3.88. There'd be one time that I would think that that's terrible, but right now that's pretty darn good. But $3.88 at GetGo. But look at this. Across the street is another GetGo. Like,
hey, I just want you to know, yesterday, regular gas was $3.99. Today, you want to know the price? Here you go, $4.29, a 30-cent increase. Now, that was quite a big jump, right? Get used to it. It's not over. It's not over, all right? Thank you all. Thank you all. Yeah, it's great. This is sarcasm on my face, but I just had to share this information. Just, boop. It's not over. We're just getting started.
Be honest, is $3.99 per gallon for gas cheap, or am I complaining too much? I think it's atrocious.
You want to see something fun? Power bill, $9.50 just for the power bill. I mean, it's gas too, so gas and power, $950 a month is where we're reaching now at this point. And maybe it was from when we put the tiny house in. This is like a quadplex basically set up, so you know it's whatever. You're going to use more power, but even with our like shared houses, other things like that, you're at 500, 400, maybe 600, like worst times of the year. So this was just much higher than I've ever had at places like that. So it's just surprising. But look at this.
Okay, so here's like more normal, right? So what is that? October last year, $412. We creep up in the wintertime, right? $500, $665. So December, it starts getting more expensive. And then now that we're into April, which is kind of crazy, in April, $9.50. It hasn't been very cold. We've been creeping up as we get into winter, whatever it's called, but it really hasn't been that cold this year. So I'm just thinking it's got to be like the pumps for the tiny house, maybe. But they're saying the kilowatt hours have doubled since last year, which is super crazy.
If you live in Kansas, they're trying to put 2 of those AI centers in Central County. That we have so much farmland. They're going to affect so many people. They're going to steal all of our water.
Can somebody explain to me why my electric bill is $525 freaking dollars?
so I just got my power bill and I got charged for the sunlight, the moonlight, the street light, the light of my life, the speed of light, the light of the Holy Spirit, and the light at the end of the tunnel. What the hell?
These companies are predatory. They are not telling the truth. They are taking advantage of our land. They want to use up our resources, and we're not getting any benefit of the energy.
The fact that you guys even are contemplating, and he stated that you guys are aggressively seeking industries like this, you're looking for a quick buck, and you're not looking at the fact that you're going to raise utilities. You raise property taxes and everything enough, and we don't see enough of the infrastructure going back into the roads and stuff like that. Then you want to bring in something that's going to suck the water, but that water's not recycled. It turns into pollution and toxin. Where are you going to put it? In our crops? So I can tell you, there's some farmers that are going to be pretty pissed off. Put it back in our river, our lakes. That's going to endanger all of our fish, and there's quite a few people that like to fish out of that lake. It's pretty sad that you would think about doing something like that. The fact that you want to bring in something that's going to drive away, as she said, wildlife. There's a lot of people that come up here to hunt. Okay? So you're going to sit here and strive away something that people live off of, fish, and then the wildlife. That's absurd. And if you haven't looked into all of the documentation, the reports about other people, other communities that have these data centers, and the lack of water that some of these have, like down in Georgia, there's full documentaries about the communities down there that have these data centers. They barely have a trickle of water in their house. They're paying almost the rate of mortgage for the power and utilities because of the data centers. And if you guys are just trying to make a quick buck, you don't care about these people sitting in this room. These people vote and pay your taxes, and we don't want to pay to have something like that. You're not thinking about the children that are here currently. You're not thinking about your grandchildren. If you're not thinking about that, and the fact that it's been documented that it'll cause cancer, increase in asthma, and everything else, you guys are delusional.
You know, when I pay my bills or I buy my groceries, I feel the squeeze too, because cost of living has skyrocketed. And Kansas families are being squeezed by these blanket tariffs that are increasing costs across the board. Stop this reckless tariff policy and put that money back in hardworking Kansas families' pockets, where it belongs.
Hey guys, I just wanted to come talk to y'all for a minute. So, I had to go grocery shopping today for me and my husband. We're empty nesters, so our kids no longer live at home. So I'm not having to spend as much money on groceries now, but I'm still spending $200 or $300 every 2 weeks just for me and him. I look back on it and I'm like, how did we afford to feed our kids and ourselves with the income we make? Because we do not make a lot of money. My husband pays all of our bills and I make sure that we have groceries and everything we need for our house. Groceries are through the roof. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure it costs some families $500 or $600 in 2 weeks to feed their families. Something needs to be done about this because it is out of hand. I don't know how some people are making it. People that don't get food stamps, that are struggling, because I know there's some single moms out there that are probably over the income limit by like $20 and you're not able to get food stamps, which I think is ridiculous because you really need the help to pay for groceries because they are through the roof.
And I've been talking about this for several times, and many times I've been coming here to speak about this, mostly based in rural areas of America and what's happening there. And we are not going through these streets or these areas, but the people who are in these areas themselves are coming out to tell us what's happening and why it's happening. Because when it comes to the point where the backbone of a country is being destroyed, like the farming. You know, farming sector is the backbone of a country, of any country. That's where people get to access of foods and everything. And I'm not just talking about the farming, but we're talking about the rural areas. You know, rural areas is the heartbeat of a country. Once the rural area is not performing, it means that the country is no longer performing. Because for the country to get the resources, they must go back to the rural areas. That's why I have the mining sites like gold, diamonds. It all came from rural areas. There is where we have the food, like we have a lot of farms. We are having many people who are doing their farming there. Some who are poultry farmers, beef farmers, the small and big ranchers.